In this video, we're going to be checking out some of the best cases that OtterBox sells, in my opinion, for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. You can't always go off the reviews you see online because they can be deceiving, but in this video, you're going to see it firsthand for yourself. We're going to see how they fit, how they feel. We're going to see how strong the MagSafe magnet is on the back of the case. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you'll know which one of these cases are right for you. So let's get into it. So the first OtterBox case we're going to check out is the OtterBox Profile case. So here is the case itself. It does seem very simple. It just has a hard plastic clear backing surrounded by a rubbery type material. So we'll put our phone inside the case here. Feels okay in the hand. It's not grippy, but it's not slippery. It's just got kind of like a smooth kind of plasticky feel. It's not even rubbery. It's just, it feels like a smooth plastic. As far as the buttons goes, not very pressable. They're a little bit hard to press in, not like some of the other cases that I've tested out. There also is a pretty sharp edge for your camera cutout that my bottom two fingers kind of keeps sliding on. And you can feel it's a little bit sharp, which I don't like. There is also a cutout instead of an actual button. If we look at the case from the side, you can see that it does have a pretty good raised edge all the way around the phone. You can see we've got our volume buttons and our action button. It's just these buttons are they're not clicky and they're a little bit hard to press in. I don't like that. And if you've watched my videos, you'll know that. We've got our cutouts for our charging port, our speakers, and our mic. On the other side, we've got our power button and that cutout for our camera button. And you guys can't really tell, but there's this like a sharp raised edge here. They should have really smoothed that out. I'm not sure why they didn't. On the back, it does show off the color of your phone, and you can see that it does pick up some smudges already. You can wipe those away fairly easily just with your finger. And around the camera, we do have a pretty good raised edge for some protection there too. Now let's test out the camera cutout. So if you get your finger here, you kind of have to press in to get to the button, but it can be done fairly easily. And as far as the touch goes, test out our photos. Do the back here. And it does seem to work perfectly fine because there is no button. It's your actual finger. Not too bad. Pretty good. You just have to kind of press your finger in here just a little bit to touch that button. But the biggest concern I have with this case is this sharp edge here that doesn't feel too good when you're resting your fingers down at the bottom. You can definitely feel that sharp edge. I mean, it's just a simple kind of clear case. Again, I'll address the things that I don't like about it. One is the sharpness of the edge here. Two, the buttons are not clicky and they're a little hard to press in, which I don't care for because there are better cases out there that don't have those issues. But I do like the raised edge on the front and I do like the raised edge around the camera. So based on the things that I've experienced, I would tell you to stay away from this case because, again, there are better options. And here we have the OtterBox Symmetry case. This has been 3 times military grade drop tested, but it doesn't say exactly how many feet that is. And here we have the case. Again, it's just another simple clear case. It does have a hard plastic backing with half of a MagSafe ring. I'm not sure why they did that. And then it's surrounded by a firm rubbery type of material. So we'll put our phone inside the case. So this case feels pretty good in the hand. It does have some grip to it. As far as the buttons goes, buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable, which is nice. If we take a look at the case from the side, you can see that it has a slight raised edge around the front of the phone, and it also doesn't add a lot of extra bulk either. Got our lanyard hole in the bottom here, cutouts on the bottom. We've got these little lanyards in each one of the corners. No airbags for extra shock absorption. On the other side, we do have our power button, and it looks like we do have an included camera button as well, which we will test out. On the back, again, it shows off the color of your phone, which is nice, but I'm not sure why they didn't include the full MagSafe ring. But we'll test that out in just a second. And it's got a pretty good raised edge around the camera lenses as well. So let's test out our MagSafe. We have our MagSafe charger here. Clips onto the back. Charges your phone immediately. And it's got a pretty weak hold on the back of the case. So that's definitely not good. I mean, it just, with just the flick of the wrist, it kind of comes off. You can see how easily I'm taking off this magnet. So the MagSafe magnet is not strong at all. That's definitely a downside for me. Now let's test out our camera button here. So you just press that in, access the camera. We'll test out our touch. And touch seems to be working okay. Yeah, not too bad. Seems to be working pretty good. So the button seems to be working well also. So again, just another kind of clear case. Very simple, but it will protect your phone. The only things that I don't like about it are the MagSafe ring in the back is super weak. So if you're going to be using any MagSafe accessories, they might actually fall off the back of the phone, or the phone might actually fall off the MagSafe accessory, especially if you're using one for your car. So that's just something to keep in mind. Again, there are better options out there to protect your phone and have better MagSafe rings. So again, I would tell you to just skip this case. And then here we have the OtterBox Commuter Drop Plus case. This has also been 3 times military grade drop tested. And here is the case. This does seem to be a 2-piece design. It's got a hard plastic shell on the back, and on the inner portion it's just like a soft rubbery type material. And I will tell you from past experience, I don't care for these kinds of cases, especially the ones that are this flimsy to begin with, because over time this just gets more flimsy and then kind of like bows out of the sides of the case. So just something to keep in mind from my past experience. But we can just kind of put this inside here. I like to put this inside the shell first because it's got this little cover for your charging port that is hard to get through when the phone's already in there. So just put this in the case and then put your phone inside. It does seem like it kind of caught, but there we go. All right. And just make sure it's down all the way around. And looks pretty good. So as far as the feel on the hand, feels pretty nice. It's got a soft rubbery type material. As far as the buttons, they are clicky. They are a little bit harder to press than normal. This is super flimsy. I'm not really sure why they made it that flimsy, but again, like I mentioned, over time, it's already starting off flimsy. It's just going to get worse. But it feels pretty good in the hand. Buttons, again, they're not super easy to press, but they are pressable. If we take a look at the case from the side, we do have a raised edge all the way around the screen. It also doesn't add a lot of extra bulk, just a little bit of extra bulk to your phone. We've got our cutouts on the bottom, again, that covered charging port. We've got our power button, and we also do have a camera button on the side. On the back, again, it's got that kind of like a subtle texture plastic on the back, which is hard, and it's got these little kind of rubber grips on the edge here, and we do have a pretty good raised edge around our camera lens as well. So if you happen to put your phone down, it will kind of slide around. It doesn't really touch these because of the camera bump on the back. So if you put this down on something, it might slide around. Let's test out our MagSafe. Clips onto the back. Charges your phone immediately. And as far as the hold, again, it's not really a strong hold. It's like slightly less than a regular magnetic hold. So the phone might fall off the MagSafe accessory again. I'm not sure why their magnets are so weak. But let's test out our camera button. So you can easily press that. And as far as the options here, button seems to be working fine with touch. It's not working exactly the way I want it to, but it is kind of working. So again, for me, this is another case I would just stay away from, mainly because of the weak MagSafe magnet on the back and because the inner portion of the shell is so flimsy. It's just, I don't know why they made it this flimsy. It should be a lot more rigid to kind of stay to the phone and not have to worry about this coming off the phone as much as it does. So again, this is definitely another case I would tell you to just stay away from. And then here we have the OtterBox Defender Pro. This is their most protective case. It's been 7 times drop tested. And here is the case. This is a 2-piece design. Again, it's got a soft kind of silicone type material on the back, and it's got a hard plastic inner shell. We also do have like this foam on the inside to help with drops. The one thing I already noticed that I don't like about this case is the outer shell is kind of, there's like an air gap, so when you press on the back it kind of makes a noise. We'll see how bad that is when we put the phone in here. It also does have a MagSafe ring on the inside, and we also do have a camera button, which is nice. So we'll just kind of peel this outer shell off. And see how kind of like floppy and flexible it is. And then for this, we just need to go around and kind of lift up on these little pieces here that are keeping this locked in place. And there we go. So it just comes apart like that. Take your phone, put it inside here, and then put this over the top of your phone, and then just press it down into place, making sure that all the little parts here click. And then take this whole thing and put it on the inside of the case, and then press the case all around it. All right, and there we go. So it does feel really good in the hand. It's very rubbery and grippy. As far as the buttons goes, almost all the buttons are easily pressable except for, okay, just clicking into place. So the buttons are nice and clicky. They're easily pressable, feel nice. You just have to make sure that this plastic or the rubber portion is clicked down into place properly so it goes over those buttons. And if we take a look at it from the side, you can see that it does add a little bit more extra bulk than some of the other cases. We've got that grippy texture on the side, and we also do have a pretty good raised edge on the top and the bottom of the case itself. If we take a look at the bottom, you can see our cutouts and how thick they are over the phone for some extra protection. Our cutout for our charging port. On the other side, same texture for grip, power button, and that camera button on the back. You can still hear there's a slight air gap, so every time you kind of touch this, it might make that noise. We've got our MagSafe ring, feels nice and grippy on the back too, doesn't show any fingerprints, and we also do have a pretty good raised edge around our camera lenses as well. So let's test out our MagSafe. Clips onto the back, charges your phone immediately, and as far as the hold, super weak. I mean, look at how easy I'm taking this magnet off the back. It's not held on there hard. Like, I'm surprised that this case would even hold on to a MagSafe accessory without falling off. So again, just like the whole lineup of the OtterBox cases, the MagSafe ring is definitely the weak point. So let's test out our camera button. Camera button easily pressable, seems to work and access the camera perfectly fine. Let's test out our touch. It does have like a slight rubber grip to it, but it seems to be working okay. Yeah, it seems to be working all right. Let's press that in. Yeah, not too bad. Seems to be working pretty good on here. Again, it does have like a rubber grip all the way around it, so when you're sliding your finger, you feel that resistance, but it seems to be working perfectly fine. Now, even though this case is their most protective, it will protect your case, but there are some downsides, like I said before. The MagSafe ring on the back is super weak. So if you're going to be using any sort of MagSafe accessories, don't expect them to hold onto the case very well. But if you don't care about the MagSafe on the back, then this is definitely a pretty good protective case. Everything else seems to be pretty good. It's got a nice raised edge. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. It's just that MagSafe ring on the back and that little air gap that you can hear on the back. So those are the only downsides for this case. And for me, again, I wouldn't recommend this case just because of the couple things that I mentioned. I like to use a MagSafe accessory, so this definitely would not be for me. And there's other cases just like the OtterBox case that have much better protection and everything works perfectly on the case as well. So I'm pretty disappointed with OtterBox's case lineup this year. There's really no excuse. They've been around forever. They know how to make good cases. They just, I guess, choose not to. And in this day and age, there's no excuse to have such a weak MagSafe ring. I think they're just looking to cut costs wherever they can. And I get that, but at least make a decent case. So for this year, I wouldn't recommend any of OtterBox cases. Like I said before, there are better cases out there and for much cheaper. But if you insist on getting any of these cases, I will be putting product links in the video description, and I'm curious to know what you guys think about these cases. Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by hitting the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.